Hi guys, how you doing? You look gorgeous today as always. I hope everyone is well. Bit of a different video today. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it this way. I had to write myself some notes because I'm getting old. But it's another AD video. Woohoo! Welcome. I've been having quite a few conversations with some creators and all about a sort of similar theme, which is a really big bugbear of mine at the moment, and that is people being over familiar with other people that they don't know. I've already said before that, you know, if you don't say anything on YouTube, you kind of, people sort of fill in the gaps and want to fill in the gaps for themselves. So that, and most of the time they get it completely wrong because their opinion of you being silent or not showing yourself is only their own projection and their own issues. It has to be because they don't have any other facts going on to go on. This is what AD does to a T. It's possibly the only thing he's actually good at. He does this whole over-familiar thing. I mean, this is on top of everything. This whole Juju Island is abhorrent. It's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen him do, and he's pretty weird. But this whole thing where he goes, oh yeah, oh, here comes the voice, right? I don't know where I'm going. Oh, it's gone Cockney again. Oh, I need to find a bit more country, innit? He talks about bumbling Rourke and old Tammy. Old Tammy. Oh, old Tammy. She said they stopped the clock. They stopped the clock. You know, poor Tammy, poor Tammy. And then you've got like the Rusex. He calls them the R's. Like they're just nothing. You know, they have a name. And he talks about, you know, junior and senior. He just sort of labels these people, which is just so much part of who he is and the way he lives his life and his identity online. And I don't think he's aware of how disgusting it is and how disrespectful he is. And I don't know, after this amount of time, whether he does it to bait them, because he's really, really bitter that the Rusex don't want anything to do with him. Really bitter. And he still refuses to believe that he's not actually part of anything. Even when Nicole Atkinson, our hero, came online and said, and flipped him the bird and said, you know, it's all crap. The Rusex want nothing to do with you. None of us want anything to do with you. AD came on going, what, you see, yeah, you see, you trolls, you know, NA has just been recovering from cancer, innit? And now you forced her to come forward and say that, you know, it's disgusting. This poor lady has cancer and, you know, you trolls have brought her in here and, you know, she has better things to do with her life. Yes, she does. But you didn't listen still. I don't know why I'm talking now to Alan, but Alan is there now. And he refuses to accept that he's no part of anything. Alan, he's not AD, doesn't know any more than anyone else. All the documents that he says he has adopted, all the letters he says he has adopted don't exist. All the people he says he knows don't exist. All the information he has is what everyone else has. That's all he has. And his subs still, like him, refuse to accept that. But this over-familiarity has sort of bled through the community as well, like people filling in the gaps, presuming that they know who you are. And presuming they know what you think, what you've done. They can see through walls, so they know if you're in the room or not. All these things. And it all stems from sort of, what does it stem from? I guess it stems from one's own issue, right? Because you can only be who you are, and you can only project what you can project because it's what you know. But what really, really I find the most insulting thing about what he does is that he can't even say their name. He can't even speak to them as if they are normal, wonderful, a grieving family who lost 4 members of their family and have to live with that and are trying to live with that, you know. And the whole thing of this Lifetime thing, that he's absolutely so infuriated that they cut him out the show, right? They cut him out the show. Yeah, so all he wants to do is get into mainstream media. Will that ever happen? Well, what's the first thing that they would do in production? They will find your social media footprint, right? They will look at what you do, what you say, where you are, who you associate with, what your social media is about. That's how they're going to find you. That's the first thing, the way that, the world has changed. It's the first thing that anyone does now. That's why you always need to be careful what you put up on social media, because we tend to think that it's just sort of us lot watching it. It's not. It's anyone out there, and anyone with any interest of any interest to you will check out your social media footprint. And going back through Alan's material and what he said and what he's done, he's tried to delete a lot of it, but it's all still there. And mainstream media will see that and run a mile, because they will then be associated with Alan, who is associated with the guests he has on his channel. So you've got this sort of reprobate talking about a grieving family as if they are garbage. And you've got him then banging his fist and throwing all his toys out the pram because mainstream media won't notice him. Okay, mainstream media won't notice him or put him in a show. And he's like, yeah, I've got on my guest fight and I do them all publicity and they've all got TV work out of it, haven't they? Like David and Chrissy, I'll tell you what we're going to do is, right, next time a guest comes on, you do not talk about stuff without asking me first. Yeah, because that's really going to win. That's a real contract, isn't it, Alan? You don't do that. I'm going to put my foot down. You don't do that until you ask me first. And so he's a bit annoyed that apparently he got cut out of the Lifetime movie, right? So you've got programs in production take a hell of a lot of work. Right? I don't know if any of you guys are in production, but it's kind of my industry. It's planned forever, and it's so many people, professional people, and they do their work and they all come together to create this production, right? So much happens behind the scenes from day one. So producers know what sort of program they're going to do. And so you've got this blooming Joe the cat, whatever. You've got these people now, Alan's people, right? And bear in mind, this is Alan's people. Okay, you've got what's the word? Convicted. Oh, it's going very well so far. Sex offender on his channel, in prison. And then you have another person, this person Bubbles, who also has done something dodgy with her business and fraud or something. A plagiarizing self-appointed writer, Geraldine Cadle. I've got a personal trainer, not a gay expert. A woman who pretended that she was someone else and pretended and doctored that she got letters from Chris Watson, claimed that she knew him. And then you've got Roxby, who I don't know what she is, but she's a night prowler. She was arrested for something, night prowling and racism and all the rest of it. You've got a fake Jamie, a fake doctor, a fake coroner investigator, which is a coroner. You had a couple of witches. You had Chrissy Lips, who claimed that she was almost sexually attacked and claimed to have like 5 policemen outside her door and then cleared off. And then she also apparently can do autopsies. So all these people that Alan has around them, they're all these professionals, health workers, really important jobs. Isn't that funny? Do you see the problem here? The problem here is that none of them are. They're not. This woman, Blair, Heather, whatever, is some kind of bouncer. Someone is something else. All the stuff that they say, it's all a complete lie. It's a story. They all band together and do that. So you got this group of people now in the world now going, we want to be famous in mainstream media. Can you imagine production companies now having this lot calling them 24/7? Hello, right, yeah, I didn't want to give you any misinformation or listener, because of course you can't speak and lots of them can't. We're just wondering, right, you doing a show? You doing a show about crime? Well, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel, right, and I'm really, really good at it. And I sit there and I've got loads of theories that are completely fake about a murder. Yeah, and I've got my suit on. I can wear a suit, but I was wondering, do you want to get me in? Do you want to get me into production? You can just slip me in, you know. It's all right, I've got loads to say. I've got loads of fans. I've got like 80,000 people. Yeah, right. Yeah, because that's how it's going to work, right? So you've got these people pestering professionals now because they've decided they want to go into mainstream media. Oh, God, what? Chrissy and David, the sex offender, they got TV work out of this. Yeah, because that's what it's about, isn't it? Maybe, you know, you have to do something really, really bad. Maybe, Alan, to get your face on there. I wouldn't put it past you. So, and then he says, but then, apparently, they went to contract stage for this show because Alan was going to be in it. Because you know what it's like in a professional production. You can say, oh, can I have my mate in it? He's really good. Yeah, he's got a YouTube. He's got 80,000 subs and he talks waffle. Go on. Yeah, we'll stick him in. Yeah, stick him in. That's going to happen. So they went to contract, right? And contract includes finances. It's watertight and is very, very specific and very, very clear when you sign it. You would normally sign this before you start work, obviously, because it's got all the terms and conditions in it. Once you sign it, and it's signed by both parties, financially, you're pretty much locked in. And you're pretty much locked in until they decide what to do in editing. So the fact that they went all the way to contract because they so desperately wanted Alan in it, and then rang them to say, oh no, we're cutting him out. It kind of means one of two things: that they didn't go to contract, because if they had, the finances would have been part of that, regardless of whether he was going to be in it or not. So they would have got the money that they were owed, unless they were doing it for free. But they would have mentioned that, wouldn't they? Because Alan is all about money and finances. So, but they haven't. Or these people saw Alan and saw the registered sex offender, the night prowler Roxby, the two witches, the person who's pretending to be a coroner, the person who's pretending to be a doctor, the person who's pretending to be a policewoman, and ran the other way. Because they do not want to be associated with pieces of crap like that. They're pretty close, having Chrissy and David on there, but to have Alan on there, that would mean their reputation is on the line. Now, if they wanted to put Alan in a program about scammers, con men, liars, and basically your low lives of society, then they would put Alan in there. Then they will be running over themselves to get him in there, because he's a perfect example of what that is. Alan thinks that he maybe comes across very differently to what he actually does. Now, he can't, just like me, say many words. I can't say many words. That's why I'm not a presenter. That's why I have scripts when I work. Alan thinks he is a presenter. I don't know what he thinks he is. He says he's an investigation journalist, entertainer, comedian. You got to pick one. I mean, one or two. Can't cover everything, maybe. And he's not any of those things. So no matter how many suits he has, when it comes down to it, what they will see is that he has an incredible amount of donations thrown at him and super chats and this and that and the other through a scam. People in production are very, very intelligent. They're not going to have anything to do with people like this. A group of people like this, because then they'll be associated with that unless they're commenting on it, on the scam, you know. And so, you know, Alan gives such a little respect to the subject that he's talking about. And he isn't a crime channel. He just does the Watts case, and it's not the Watts case. You know, this is 4 people who were brutally, brutally murdered. We should never forget that, regardless of what you think about anyone involved. The fact is that Alan's channel is a joke, and he knows it's a joke, because now he said, oh, I'm an entertainer. So that's how he's getting round that one. But if you look back at all his videos, subs, go and do it, and you'll see the ludicrousness of that channel. And it can be ludicrous. There's so many ludicrous channels on YouTube. You know, it's a minefield. It's huge. It's vast. This is a tiny, tiny cog. But he's nasty. He's a nasty, nasty person. All around. You know, you could chop him in half and it would be through him like a stick of rock. Sneaky, sly, nasty, a vulture, a scammer. He uses other people for his own gain. I'm not sure he's ever given much out to the world. I'm not sure. And I'm basing this on what he does on YouTube, not about him in his normal life. I don't know anything about that. I couldn't comment on that. It has no interest for me. You know, but in terms of this contract, you don't just get cut out. They do that in editing. That's what editing is, after the fact. Once you've shot it, they then go, do we need that bit? Do we need this? Let's cut that bit out. It would happen after. It doesn't happen before. So either way, they were telling porkies again. It's a bit like the Netflix one where, oh, what? Yeah, Netflix is doing a documentary and they didn't include me, right? Yeah, and I'm the one who's all over this case, right? They should be talking to me, should be talking to me. The next day, yeah, I'm working with Netflix. Yeah, they've made me sort of a ambassador. Yeah, well, they've sent it to me already. Yeah, I'm working with them. Yeah, they asked me to do that. Just for that one documentary, Alan, you were involved with Netflix. All complete lies, just like the letters from Chris Watts, just like everything else that Alan says. None of it is true. We've got to be honest about it. None of it is true. You know, there's no point. I don't, you know, you can't sugarcoat it anymore. Everything he does is a lie. There's nothing else to say about it. You know, whether we take the piss out of him or we parody him or we get angry at him, you know, it's all a lie. And the only reason that I do this is because I hate people like that. And I don't hate anyone or anything. I hate that. I hate people stamping all over other people for their own gain, trampling other people, using other people to get where they want to get. But also it's not even in a classy way. It's in a really slothful, and I love sloths, slothful, sort of blubbery, heavy, ungainly, ungodly, dirty way. There's nothing redeeming about him. All the people around him. I do not understand the people around him. I don't. No one. He claims, oh yeah, you know, some people were against me and now, you know, they really like me. No one has done that. No one. The only person was, you know, someone who liked to call other women whores in the street, and then angry girl. And that's because she's pretty much the same as him. Again, it's a brutal fact. There's no other way to put it. After 3 years now, I think it is, the amount of money he's made, have you ever seen him do anything good with it? Have you ever seen him offer to do some charity work? Or have you ever seen him help anyone? Have you ever seen him get a guest up who's had an experience and Alan's gone, tell me your story and maybe I can help you, or offer to help anyone or anything? No, nothing. Nothing. No thing. He has nothing redeeming about his channel. That's what it is. It's not him. It's his channel. He has nothing redeeming about his channel. Nothing charming about it. Nothing entertaining about it. And I'm going on a rant now. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. But it's been a long time coming. You know, and I sit there and most of the time I'm really like, oh, do you know what? I can't even listen to him anymore because I need a shower afterwards, as I said. And he just is so unprofessional and just embarrassing. And I sort of sit behind a cushion and I cringe. I mean, this is just me talking to a camera and, you know, I don't make any money out of it. I don't get anything out of it. Just, you know, just expressing my distaste at a certain channel. But he does consider it his job. And he doesn't have any social responsibility whatsoever. This is a person, again, who doesn't pay their tax, by the way. Remember that. He gives nothing. He gives nothing. He's never even done a giveaway or something even as tiny as that. He's never offered out anything. He just takes and takes and takes and takes. Takes from his subs, takes from all the people around him, takes from his family, takes. It's quite extraordinary, and it's time it stopped. It's time it stopped, and everyone is doing such amazing, videos, and but it gets to the point of exasperation, because I don't want that fool in my head. I don't want any association with him. And that people say about the Ruseks, oh, well, why don't they strike him? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Do you think that they want Alan in their head? Or to even have to deal with him or think about him? I really doubt it. They have maintained grace and have their own lives. And my God, to have to go into the internal workings and the arena of Alan and his scammers, it's horrible. Why would they want to do that? Why would they want any headspace taken by this absolute con man? So I do understand that, regardless of what anyone thinks. I totally get that. There are so many times when I've wanted to do reports or this or that or the other, and I've just gone, I don't want to spend any brain space or time on this person or these people. I don't. I've got a life to live. We've all got a life to live. And that would be Alan's life to live. And his kids will have that legacy, and I hope Alan is healthy and stuff, but this is what he's doing with his life. And he doesn't look well, he doesn't seem well, and what he's doing is not, it's not karmically good, is it? It's dirty. All of them, this whole Bubbles thing. I mean, can you imagine, her husband or children or whatever, just, what she's done, and then to be crying online. Oh, God. And regardless of what anyone thinks about me, I can't control how anyone sees me or thinks about me. I don't make money from this. I don't get money from this. I do it because I do have a voice, and I'd rather use it for good. I don't often in my career get to express myself in my own words. So for me also, it's a nice way to communicate. And I just can't believe that someone is like this online. Why would you choose that out of anything in the world? Why would you choose to put so much effort into scamming and ripping people off and telling stories, lies? I would love to see the Rusek family face off with Alan. He would never do it. Because on top of everything else, people who act like Alan and Bubbles, Joe the cat, and all the other grifters, they're also incredibly cowardly. You can see as soon as something happens to them or something they don't like, they're the victim like that. The tears come, the temper comes, an instant reaction, and a very unhealthy one. And you can see the veil slightly come off, and you go, I see more of that person now. I see. There's so much invested for them that when it goes wrong or it doesn't go their way, they can't deal with it. Because they don't have anything else to fall back on. They don't have anything else. They put all of their effort into scamming people online, his subs. That was a bit of a dimash, that, wasn't it? By the way, if you haven't heard Dimash sing, please go and hear him sing. Please go and hear him sing SOS. It's the most beautiful voice you've ever heard in your life. And that's talent. That is talent. And for this lot with no skill, no talent, to think that they're going to somehow break into mainstream media and then go up into the upper echelons of entertainment, I think there's going to be a lot of people out there who will not allow that to happen. And remember, whatever Alan has done is all still online and it can be found. Everything about him can be found. So I'm not sure that the upper echelons of entertainment are going to be embracing Alan. I'm not sure. Bloody hard to get into for anyone, right? But you can't just be famous. You have to be famous at something. And I got a feeling that Alan knows he's going to be infamous. But maybe that's what he wants. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing for Alan to be infamous. Says a lot about him. Anyway, this video is a little bit brutal. But I think it's time to be that way now. Because there's no point anymore in pretending. There's just not. You know, there's no point in us all fighting between ourselves and this and that and the other. And at the moment it's pretty quiet, which is great. You know, there's no point in us doing that. There's no point in us sugarcoating anything. There's no point in us getting at each other through frustration. There's no point in getting absolutely rat-assed and then filming 25 videos, each of about 4 minutes of crying and dribbling, and then delete them all. There's no point to that. Why don't we, I don't know, use our voices and just speak from the heart and say what we mean? And we can totally disagree with each other. And that's another thing that, you know, I have massive disagreements with other creators. You know, there's a creator and we're always bickering. And they have a very different, you know, opinion than I do. It doesn't affect the way my friendship with that person at all, in any way. Because that's healthy. That's healthy to have your own thought and allow someone else to have theirs. That's being a healthy adult, right? Anyway, that's another video. So thank you so much if you've even made it to the end of this video, because I'm rambling on. But it's been nice chatting to you, and I hope you have a great day. And luckily, there's only one Alan. Unluckily, there's a few women around him that I think kind of want him. So I'm going to have to go and get something to eat, because something just to sort of force down whatever just came up then with that thought. Naughty, naughty. Have a good day, guys.